just as long as you stand by me. So darling, darling, stand by me. Oh, stand by me. Oh, stand by me. Stand by me. Shemai, a tutorial for our bass ukuleles. Stand by me. So I did promise when I finished the how to read music on the bass ukulele that I'd start doing some songs. So today we're going to start with Stand By Me, an absolute iconic song with a brilliant, nice, straightforward bass line, but it's also very, very popular with ukulele groups. So I thought it was a really good one to start with. So during today's tutorial, I'm going to be putting up notation and tab whilst I'm going through the song, okay? But as I mentioned, different keys, all right? Because lots of different groups play it in different keys, okay? Depending on people's voices and such. So what I'm going to be doing is I'll be uploading a load of PDFs to go with this onto my Patreon page. So if you want to go and join in over there, all right, I'll leave a link in the description below, but they'll be in different keys, and the PDFs to download will also be in notation and a couple of different types of tab. And on Patreon, I will be uploading the whole song, okay, in all formats as well, and of course different keys. So you can see it's in C at the bottom, and just for a moment you can see it in notation at the top, tab in the middle with rhythm, and then tab at the bottom quite plain. Okay, I'm going to go with the notation one today. If you can't read music on your bass ukulele, go and check out, I've done I think it's 23 lessons how to read music on your bass ukulele from absolute scratch. Nice and easy, okay? But the tabs will be on here for a little while and they'll be uploaded as well onto Patreon. So the nice thing about this song, it's a repeated pattern. There's 8 bars, which I'll go over in a moment, but it's like that all the way through the song. All right, I played just a tiny snippet at the beginning. I do apologise for the singing, all right? But this is just to give you an idea, and hopefully by the end of this, you'll be nice and confident playing it in the key of C, and maybe thinking about doing other keys then as well. So some basics, okay? Your right hand technique. I'm pretty sure the original of this was done with upright double bass. You know, pizzicato, plucking the strings. And when you pluck the strings, if I go like that a minute, you pull across. And it's exactly the same on our bass ukuleles. We pull the string across, not away from the instrument, and that has a massive impact on the sound. For example, I'm going to play it badly to start with. Okay, but if I pull the string across, hear the difference? Okay, so right hand we're pulling our string across, and left hand we are really making sure we're pressing those strings down firmly so we get a nice clean tone. Okay, you can hear that. That's nice and clean. If I'm not pressing my left hand down quite enough, hear it? Ooh. So let's look at the first 2 bars together. We've got a crotchet or a quarter note C, 3rd fret on the A string. Then something that little funny shape that looks a bit like a 7 is a quaver rest or an 8th rest, so we don't play. Then the next 2 notes are joined together. All right, again another C, and the joined together just means they're tied. So you don't actually play 2 different notes. All right, you just play 1 note, which is going to be for 1.5 beats. And then we've got 2 quavers at the end of the first bar, something like this. Okay, and the next bar, same thing again, the C, 3rd fret, quaver rest, tied C, but this time we're coming down C, B at the end. So this time the 2 bars together. Okay? You might have already noticed this is quite important because we've got these rests in there. We need to actually stop the note ringing. Now, the way I'm doing that is I'm using my right hand to mute the string again. I'll do it nice and slowly. 1, 2. So by the time I've got on to 2, okay, which is the quaver S, I've already stopped that note. And I'm not trying to do it silently. If anything, I'm giving the note a little bit of a tap. I'll do it again. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. Okay? So I'm just stopping the note. It gives that little bit more of a laid back feel, but that is what the rhythm is meant to be like. Okay? First 2 bars, one more time. Okay, which leads us onto our next 2 bars. So an A, I play open A string, but you could play it 5th fret on the E string if you want to, entirely up to you. So it's an open A, same rhythm, crotchet or a quarter note, quaver rest or an 8th rest, followed by another A tied, so that'll be 1.5 beats, followed by a crotchet G, okay, 3rd fret on the E string. So just that bar. Okay, look, I'm pulling across, I'm not doing that, I'm not pulling away, and that is what really helps get a good tone. So 3rd and 4th bars. Let's just dig into that one a little bit for a minute. I'm stopping the note. Then I've got my 3rd fret or G. Now then, there's a little trick to this bit here. I'm going from the open A to the 3rd fret on the E string and then the 1st fret on the E string. So I've got to sort of move my hand back. You could play it all with your first fingers on the 1st fret. I tend to play on the 2nd fret normally, just because that 1st fret is a little bit close to the nut, quite high, and I just like playing 2nd fret as what I would call my first position. So I've got to move my fingers back, ready for that F, okay, or 1st fret on the E string. I'm going to do it slowly. Just this is the 4th bar now. So whilst I'm playing that open A string, I've actually moved my hand back. All right, I'm going to play the 2 bars together and hopefully you'll notice me moving my hand back to 1st fret during those open strings. Ready for my F, okay, or 1st fret on the E string. Let's just go from there for a minute. Bar 5. And then we're working our way back up again. So bars 5 and 6, we've got F, same rhythm, quaver rest. So I'm stopping the note. F to open A, G, 3rd fret, and then 3rd fret on the E string for G, 2nd fret on the A string for B, and then back to our C or 3rd fret. Okay, I'm just going to play those bars from bar 5. So F, okay, and then the last 2 bars, bar 7 and bar 8, exactly the same as the first bar. Just repeated. I'm now going to play those 8 bars, the whole bass line, but slowly for a minute. And I want you, if you can, to watch what my left hand is doing and what my right hand is doing. From the beginning, 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm moving back. And and then it just keeps going. Okay? It literally just keeps going round and round like that for those 8 bars for the whole song. So let's play it through one more time. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's where the voice would come in, okay? And it just keeps going. So it's literally like that all the way through the song. But what you've got to remember, especially if you're playing this in a ukulele group, you might be the only part of the rhythm section. There might not be anything else, all right? You've really got to keep in time. So it might be a case of tapping your foot, okay, or even when you practice, put a metronome on or play to a drum machine. Go and play along with the original song, but just get used to keeping that beat. Right, so you can see the actual tab has arrived at the bottom now. All right, I'll play it through once so you can see it in tab form as well. This time the tab has got a rhythm on it, okay? That might complicate it for some people, all right? I personally, it's one of the reasons I'm not a massive fan of tab, because it doesn't quite give you enough information, but at least with this one, it's got a rhythm on there as well. 1, 2, 3, 4. And so on. And here's a much more straightforward tab, all right? That's literally the numbers and the lines. If you don't know how to read tab, by the way, the lines are indicating the strings, okay? And if you're not sure, if you look at your bass ukulele from the top, this string, our G string, that is the top line, okay? So you're looking from the top, going bottom, all right? And the numbers are the frets, and you can just about make out that there's a bit more of a gap between some of those numbers, and that is meant to be the rhythm. 1, 2, 3, 4. And so on. So I'll just go through it one more time with the backing track. I can only apologise for my singing. Yeah, that's in the key of C. It's really high. I'm not the greatest singer anyway, but I do struggle with that one a little bit. But loads of ukulele groups play it in C because it's a nice, straightforward, easy song for lots of beginners, but it does show off the bass nicely as well. So I'll just whiz through a couple of little bits from other keys as well. And as I said earlier, I'm going to be uploading stacks. There must be loads of them actually, because I've done it in the key of C, key of F, key of G, B flat, A, which is the original key, D, G. Anyway, there's loads of them, and each key has got 3 variations: notation, tab with rhythm, and plain tab. All right, they're all going to be up on my Patreon page for you to download if you want to. So we've heard C. Okay, I've also done it in D. And so on. I've done it in G. And so on. I've done it in A. I've done it in B flat, I think. So I do hope you've enjoyed that and found it useful. As I said, there were lots of reasons why I wanted to do Stand By Me as the first song to learn. It's easy and straightforward. It's an iconic song that loads of ukulele groups do. It's very straightforward to move it into different keys. Lots of songs, they don't tend to mess about with the keys, but I know this one does. All right. And once you can get those first 8 bars, which I've gone over today, you can play the whole song, and it's just getting used to learning the song, either reading all the way through, okay, or listening to know when you need to start and stop. So I do hope you found that useful or helpful, or at least enjoyed it. As always though, if you've got any comments or questions, please feel free, leave it below. Give us a like if you've enjoyed, and don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss out on new videos. Thank you for watching.